Jaymi, we made it.
Oh my God, 2 more days, 2 more days, 2 more days.
Yes, yes. Shiver in the anticipation, and this is going to be fun. So hang on. I mean, I think that,
It's us.
I don't think I'm the only one of our friends, and of our, our extended friends out there we may not know personally. I kind
Exactly.
of feel like, like the bandaged Minutemen, coming in, just to give it a video after 2025. That's how I'm feeling.
You mean the 9 of Wands? Look at me busting out
Look
some
at you
tarot.
busting out some tarot. Yes, yes, very Nine
Oh
of
my God.
Wands-ish, but also very Starish, right? I've got that because I still keep that hope with all the crap that's going on. I have to keep a little, have to get and stoke it now and then,
Yeah.
blow
Oh my
blows
God,
on
dude.
it. Oh my
Dude,
God,
what a
bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
Five
a
Life. Oh God.
doozy.
Yeah.
It's been a wild and crazy ride this year, at least for me on my half. I mean, I had some good stuff and some not so good stuff happen, and we're here at the end. Imagine that.
I know. Just
And
it's the resilience, and not just individual resilience, but that resilience that's built into human DNA. And
dude.
I have such gratitude for that.
Hmm.
And also it's like I know, like you do, the importance of grabbing onto that gratitude, feeding that gratitude, but also finding things to do, activities, tools that help support that, so we can keep that resilience burning strongly.
Exactly.
And, no, it's fine. Keep the caps. We might need it.
Yeah, I know. Om nom gratitude. Well,
Yeah.
there has been some om nom gratitude, and there's also been some, I guess we're going to make this, not kid friendly. Fuck it, going on this year. Table flip, wipe the slate, and just done.
But that's
And if
important too. That's important for our physical well-being, our mental well-being. The holistic well-being.
exactly,
Part of that is knowing when to say
exactly,
fuck it, kick some dirt on it, and walk away. You have to.
yeah,
You have
yeah,
to.
and
And that
that's
has to do with our
that's
boundaries and um, our self-worth and just our own sanity. And yes.
yes, yeah. If you know what's been going on in my life, you know. If you don't, hey, that's
Table
okay.
flip. Yes,
Yeah, but
totally.
yeah, this year has been weird. Like, okay, so let's kick it off with this. Do you do a word of the year?
I do.
Okay, so because I do as well. So, what was yours this year?
Mine this year, was temperance.
Oh, Jesus, which is awesome because before I let you finish that statement, mine was equilibrium.
There we go.
So, also temperance, but in that way of just the right amount.
Right.
So, and I pulled mine out of a particular deck, but do you pull at random or do you search for like kind of how you want that vibe to be?
I kind of sit with it and let some words, usually like maybe in meditation, maybe 10,
Hmm.
13 words might come to me, and then I just kind of start keeping wheeling that down through meditation or just seeing what works right. I'll take those words and I'll write sentences with them, and I'll
Hmm.
see how they fit. And part of it isn't just how they feel vibrationally to me. Part of it's just like, is my pen flowing? Is my hand flowing in the writing, in the spelling of this word across the page? And if it's kind of staticky, I'm like, okay, that's not the word that's vibing with me for that year.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So that's kind of fun. So what I do, because I haven't pulled my word for 2026, which I
Uh-huh.
figure was something I can do either right now or later, but I have this deck called the Narrative Alchemy deck. And I
Right.
believe it's out of print, but it's got words on each card that also relate to
Words are
this
good.
one. This one happens to be the Hanged Man. So this one says perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I tend to shuffle this up a couple of times, and I will, you know, pick that, and then, write down in a word of the year journal that I've got, which happens to be this little one that I showed up that,
Right.
the natural alchemy deck, and talk about my intentions. And then on the back side, I'll have big dreams that I do or do not do. And in some cases, year to year conferences that I want to go to. So, but yeah, I thought, since I haven't done 2026, I thought it'd be kind of fun for me to draw one this year.
Draw one live.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yes,
draw one live.
I have got my word for 2026. So
Oh,
let's see
awesome.
what happens. I can share it, but let's do yours first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was going to say, did you want to share it while I shuffle? I'm going to shuffle just a couple more times, even though I've shuffled it a lot.
What phased out for me for 2026 is alignment. And my card, because I do my birth card from my birthday to my birthday, and that happens to be strength. So I said, okay, through strength and alignment, my story becomes reality. So it's it's putting those two things into energy for 2026, and I'm pretty excited about it. I have not picked. I do card of the year, and then I do the whole year, but I'll do that. Usually do that on New Year's Eve. Yeah. So then I'll put that in there, but then I end up having these wonderful 2-card, 3-card spreads per month based on what I've picked.
Exactly.
And I try to every month. I try to go back and look and going, okay, how did this month fall into that? What alignment was there? And like us, I think there's a lot of people right now, especially creative people. We tend to have a lot of irons and different fires. And
yes,
for me, it's like having that alignment. It just reminds me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The priorities, the importance, making sure that I'm staying, balanced and true to my relationship, to my little family, me, my partner, my partner, our pets, right? And then from that, what is helping to support that alignment, but also making sure that I've got time to explore my creative things, to do the writing that I am doing, and bolster myself as well, because in order to have that alignment, I need to do self-improvement, self-discovery, learning. Yeah. I always love learning. So I've got different courses lined up that I want to take this year. And
awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So Amy in chat says that she picks a new word at her birthday in March of every year. So empowerment's a good one. I like that. Do you do it like Amber, Amy, and just kind of write down some words and pick the one that flows? Or does it just come to you? Or do you pull it from a deck? And Anne also says that she uses the Snowdrop Oracle by Heidi Phelps. I know a lot of people use this one too.
I've heard of it, but I'm not that familiar with it. Yeah.
I know that Jenna Diaz uses this too. And for hers, it's tenacity, strength, and adaptability. Those are all awesome for you, Anne. What's funny is, as you're talking about alignment, that was last year's for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, I like I said, I have this little notebook that I got from a deck, a writer's deck, even the Weary Writer's Tarot. And I just kind of put my word of the year. So I have shuffled. Is everybody ready to see? Okay, cool. It comes to you. Awesome. I love that, Amy.
Yeah.
So Amy just lets the word kind of bubble up and come. Oh,
I like that.
Oh, you ready for this?
Yes.
I got presents. Yes. So each suit has various colors. So obviously, I feel like this is primary orange in a way. And at the bottom you see 14 and fire. So this means the king of wands.
Totally.
So I have big dick energy, so to speak. Not the ace, but the king. So I am going to be stepping out in 2026 with 2026. Dude, my life right now, let me tell you, off the channel. It's been crazy. But yes, I'm going to be showing up with my presence. I am going to be just me, 100% me. And if you can't deal with that and my slip-ups, my Freudian slips, then you don't need to be in my life. So yeah, thank you all for playing with me and allowing me to pick a card live for next year.
I love it. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So what pen did you write your words down with? I know that Anne earlier
Oh,
said that if those words can't flow, then maybe the nib needs to be clean. So let's talk about some
yeah.
fountain
Let's talk
pens,
about some
shall
fountain
we?
pens. Well, I'll start off by saying one of my favorite things this year that I discovered that I know I'm going to end up so down the rabbit hole in this year because I love it so much, and that's nib tuning. Right, so everybody playing on here knows fountain pens. They know about nib tuning
Yep.
and nib grinding. I'm not to the nib grinding thing, although that's really, really tempting. That's a
Oh,
tasty
you
bit that's out
should.
there. That's a
You
tasty bit that's out
should.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying the nib tuning and being a little bit of a nib doctor for folks. That said,
Folks, right here. I'm
yeah,
the
folks,
folks.
to you, the folks. I know, and
Yeah.
I have two of your pens right here on my desk right now that are
No, I
they started
know.
misbehaving a little bit yesterday, so they're kind of in a timeout, but they're here.
Awesome. Yeah. And
But
I'd like to know what those sensors are, but you can tell me in a private chat later on because, hmm. But yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Amber's
so
been great with nibs for me.
yeah, so for me, what did I write those words with? What I wrote the final sentence with because I chose the words before. So what I used to choose those words, you're gonna love this, is my little shark pen that you gave
Gee.
me for my birthday. Yes, and I keep this filled with oxblood ink because it's a shark pen. So I love this pen. It writes beautifully. So that's what it ended up being when I chose the word. What I wrote my what I put into my journal for 2026 and wrote my statements is this pen that for many reasons this has become a favorite pen for the year.
Mhm.
Because the whole experience around it and what it means. And it's also absolutely gorgeous the way it catches the light when I'm writing. And it's my Conklin 18.
Ooh.
Yay.
Yeah. Can when you're done showing this one again, can you hold up that shark pen? And
Yeah.
Dancing Macabre, who I know your real name, but I'm only gonna, say this.
Wow. Yeah.
I know where
So
to get that. It's not an expensive one to get.
no, and
So
it's a lot of
I'll share
fun.
the link. Yeah.
So yes, so this became very special to me because of everything that happened around it and in the obtaining of it. It's almost like my emotional support pen now. And then what I've been journaling with like crazy, but I'll show you the shark pen first. Here you go.
There are different colors for
Yeah, are
this.
different
Yeah.
colors. I almost kind of want to get a second one, another color. They write really well. They're comfortable. They're lightweight. But they don't. But they're not. They don't feel like chintzy in your hand. Like I've had some pens that are just like
Yeah.
meh in your hand. But no, this is, and it's just fun
Which is good.
because sharks.
Yeah. Amber loves sharks. And when I got it, that was my fear, was that, oh God, this is just going to be a gimmick pen and just something that, won't even write or be used. But yeah, I'm so glad that it's good. Yep.
You guys are like sharks, okay?
Yes. Both. Yeah. So both. It's cartridge and fill.
Yes. All my pens, and that's one thing that no, I shouldn't say all my pens. I have two that are not. But the majority of my pens, I like it both ways to have it either cartridge or fill because depending on what I'm doing or where I'm going, I might not always want to have ink in the pen. Sometimes I just want to have the cartridge so I can pop in and out for safety and cleanliness.
Yeah. Especially when you're traveling. That's yes, and both
yes,
ways.
I know. See, this is the way this talk goes. This is what happens when Jaymi and I are together. So yes.
Yeah, you all are getting a real good silly treat. I love that Anne's here. I love that she's bringing up this silly energy. She's honorary Leo today, apparently. Letting us all laugh and be silly. So yes, both ways, Anne, bring it.
But then one of my general, well, I've got two general just kind of journaling pens, kick around pens, pocket pens, because that's exactly what they are.
Oh God, I love pocket pens.
One that I've really been enjoying this year it's the brass, and it is the wonderful Hongdian M2. Okay, so there you go. It's a wonderful pen, and again, yes, it is you can have your choice of cartridge or not.
Mhm.
There you go.
That's the Hongdian, right? The Hongdian pen.
The Hongdian, yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, this is a Hongdian pen that you can get off of Amazon, and I'm going to make a caveat. You have to buy their ink, their cartridges for this pen.
Um,
I
no, I have found other cartridges that will work in it, but they're shorter. You have to get the shorter,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
size
because
for it.
the Twisby shorts that I got originally for these pens, they have a
No, the
different
twisties don't,
diameter.
because the
Yeah,
diameter is different, right?
yeah.
But it's what I love about this is that it happens to be inked up with something that you're going to be talking about later. Um,
Oh, yay! I'm so glad.
but so that those are my, and then the other pen I really enjoy is I have it over here, my Kaweco Sport Classic. Lightweight, durable, and just fun. It's a fun little pen to have around. Um, and then in general, because I have people ask about inks, I really this year have been enjoying Diamine inks, Colorverse
Mhm.
inks, and Wear and Goal. Those have been my three top ink brands this year. So
Yeah.
great thanks. Yes.
Yes. So I guess I'm going to start with the inks since we're kind of talking about some inks. Yes,
Yes.
Diamine. I also like Diamine inks, and the Diamine Oxblood that Amber has. That's what she keeps in her shark pen, which is perfect because it's like this. It's like the blood, the churn, the chum stuff that
Yeah.
you associate with
Absolutely.
sharks. But I would have to say my top ink this year has been Waringles Call of Cthulhu because I am a cosmic horror buff, and it's amazing. It's green, as you can see, so it's got Cthulhu green and it's like this darker color in the lighter one, but it
And then
also
that
has
sheen.
that sheen of red that cuts through it. And it's a special gold spot, so the company goldspot.com. I guess they also like cosmic horror because they commissioned the bottle, and this is the full bottle that you can
Yeah.
get from them with it. And I've been giving a lot out to friends. Like Amber's got some stuff. A lot of my other pen friends, I've given samples of this, and I'm hoping that this is enough to last me, a little bit extra while. So I think it was about under $30. I think maybe 20, but I can't remember.
I think so.
But that has been, no, it's not Diamine, it's Waringle.
Sorry, that one was Wearingle. My bad.
Yeah. Amber, faux pas there.
I know,
Yeah.
so bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
And
I spelled Wearingle wrong, but it's Wearingle.
Yeah. I'll keep it up there if anybody wants to screenshot it. But yeah, Waringle with a weird EUL instead of
G-A-U-L, and yeah, it's WERING.
Yeah. Yep. I know, Anne, right?
I know.
And that will lead into my two. Well, I've got 2/3 pens that I really enjoyed this year. The first one, which I haven't inked up yet because I'm waiting for it to get tuned, aka ground, and that's probably going to happen at the Northwest Pen Show that happens every year here in Portland in July. But so for my birthday this year, I got a payment from a project that I did. Yes, it does give Dark Forest vibes. You would like this, Dancing Macabre. But I got my first Benu, and this is a hand-painted pen that has Cthulhu on it. Now, again, this is another Gold Spot special. However, they have two different Cthulhu pens. One of them is by Pilot, but it doesn't have Cthulhu on it. It's just called the Call of Cthulhu, and it's kind of this tealish kind of, or darker kind of, band color here. And I'm like, if I'm going to have a cosmic horror god, and I'll drop into the comment after I'm done talking. But yeah, so I got the Benu Call of Cthulhu pen, which is about $300, and I got it in bold because I want this to be ground down into a finer tip for me and a lefty style. And that's something I learned at the Northwest Pen Show in 2025, that if you get a nib ground, bigger is better. They like it bolder, stub. Actually, this is a stub, but yeah, they want a minimum of bold. A medium will work, but yeah. So yep, Northwest Pen Show. I went this year, and I basically overspent my budget mostly on grinding. So I met, oh God, what was his name? Tim. Oh, no, Thomas Ang.
Thomas Ang.
Yeah, Thomas Ang, who is an amazing nib grinder, loves to talk while he does it, and he taught me so much. But I brought him several pens to play with because one I got, this is my other favorite, which is a double-sided pen. As you can see, I've got some of that Call of Cthulhu here, and then just my regular Pelican Elston Onyx. And yeah, I blew it all on grinding, pen grinding. But he fixed this side is a fine point, and he fixed it for me so I can, write with a left-handed style. So he ground a lefty as I'm getting, and then this one's a medium. So it's like with this pen, I've got a header and a writer. Sadly, though,
That's
it is
so cool.
only dropper filled because these things are tiny. They're about the width of this finger. So it's awesome. I have to refill them. And then, no, somebody else ground a lefty. But yeah, it's okay. The other cool pen that I got and added to my collection was my first Esterbrook pen. And this is the Coffee Monsters Co.
So sexy.
With this fun little nib, little emoji on it. This is an extra fine, and it's a little scratchy. So yeah, next year, 2026 Northwest Pen Show, which is in July, I'm going to have somebody work on this, whether it is Thomas or one of the other grinders. They usually at these shows, they usually have like 3 or 4 or 5 grinders that you can either sign up with pre-hand or just rush to the table. Saturday's weird. I didn't get the Friday pre-pass. I recommend that though, because you get in early and a lot of the show stuff sells out. Like the Pen Realms had a special nib for Portland, and that sold out the first night. So they opened it up, and I was able to get one post show that I want to put in one of my pens. But yeah, it's basically you rush in, you find the grinder you want to work with, you pick your nib, and then you pay. And they also have pens, journals, and everything. Like my favorite, one of my favorite papiers is Wonderland 222, based up in Tacoma, and they were there. Plus Anna from the Well-Appointed Desk, who is also a tarot buff. She was there, and I didn't, we talked to each other, and I didn't even know until the next day when I went, I'm an idiot. But yeah, it is. It's like Brewfests. It's like, any other show, but with pens and ink and paper and cool people. And then there's also classes you can do, like they'll, take you through how to like use your inks for like, watercolor paints or stuff like that. But yeah, these 2/3 pens are kind of my top ones, with this one being the most used for me this year. This is my go-to pen, and it's always filled with black ink. And I think I'm not going to refill it with the Call of Cthulhu because I've got some other sheening inks, so I'm going to change it up for 2026. But yeah, that's of course nerding out on pen stuff. But I've also, yes, please come with me to the pen show. I was alone last year. I was sending Amber and some other friends like short videos of stuff.
Polo,
I don't,
Polo,
yeah, Marco Polos. Tomoe shows up in like some of the other companies, but they themselves have not shown up to Portland yet. We are still a relatively small pen group and show. So yeah, field trip. It's probably going to be about maybe $150, but I definitely want to go because I've got some nibs to grind.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, writing with the fountain pen
Karen.
is true alchemy. It is. It is. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's Tomoe. It's Tomoe. Tomoe River paper. Yeah, but I don't know. What do we want to talk about next? I mean, because I
Well,
can geek out on nibs all
I know we
day.
could geek out on fountain pens and stuff all day, but we're being good. um,
I
okay,
don't
I do
know.
want
Are
to
we?
say well, questionable. Good for us. How's that? Look at this. I've got fountain pen ink on me already, just from.
I know.
Um,
Same. Just
yeah.
from opening a pen. Table flip.
Okay. So I want to say that one of the things for 2025 that was really helpful for me was reigniting this podcast with Jaymi. And two of my favorite episodes that we did are episode 3, which was the games we play, and episode 5, Agents of Activism. So if anyone wants to catch out my two favorite episodes of what we've been talking about in 2025, it's episode 3 and episode 5. And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about that Dancing Macabre, and mine is Presence, aka the King of Wands. So that's what I get to start playing with in my little Word of the Year notebook.
Yep. And let's see. There's a couple things that. All right, we'll talk some divination related stuff first because people know that's a part of our love. Yeah.
Let's talk about other podcasts because you had a whole bunch more, and you talked about this show. I had a lot of fun with episode 2, the ghost hunting and the Estes method, because I want to do that and everything. So that was mine here. But I'm still doing Card Slingers Coast to Coast, and starting either this Friday or this week, we're going to start doing YouTube lives. So if you haven't signed up or don't listen to Card Slingers Coast to Coast, we're going to start doing YouTube, and hopefully maybe still producing audio with that as well. But yeah, we'll see what happens because changes in my life has happened. But yeah, other than that, I've actually listened to more video stuff on YouTube, audio like stuff. So I've kind of moved a little bit away from podcasts, but I still have a lot of them. But Amber, you had a couple of standouts though, right?
Yeah. And I went into more too on my blog, the blog lit a fire. You can check that out. But again, it's like when I'm calling podcasts, I kind of throw the YouTube casts that in there too, under that same moniker. One of the ones I've been really enjoying is Mythical Kitchen Last Meals, and I'll grab a celebrity or somebody, and it's just like, okay, now what is your last meal? And so it's not just talking about the death part in your last meal, but it goes into what like the foods mean to them, and you learn so much about these people's lives and what have made them tick over the years, and got them into what they're doing and what their passions are outside of their career zones. So that one's interesting. And then there's a great astrophysics one that I watch, the Luniverse. It's Liuniverse, and it's fabulous. So that is a wonderful one. And then let's see. I'm trying to think of the list I didn't mention on my blog. Well, on the blog, and I'm going to mention it because I know you love it too. Old Gods.
Yeah.
Old Gods of Appalachia.
Old Gods of Appalachia.
10 out of 10. Yeah. Last meal, absolutely.
Yeah. I have seen Old Gods live 2 times, 3 times now, and they are amazing live. So it's one of my favorite kind of cosmic horror, but just really good storytelling and character voices and everything. It's great. So yeah, Old Gods.
Yeah. Shout out to Old Gods. Let's see. What else have you got as far as like casts and things that you've been really enjoying?
Oh my God, with the cast. So I've been enjoying a channel called 2 channels. One of them has an unfortunate name of 9mm, and the actual 9 mm for like bullet casing. But they've been doing over the past couple of years a zombie radio podcast, and it's not AI voices, it's real voices or the same person kind of pitching their voices and talking about how, this theater drama and stuff of different cities or different locations, mostly on the East Coast right now, because I think that's where the person lives, but talking about, doctors or stuff, or how this virus came about and how they're not undead. You can't, like, zombie undead and all those other terms are banned from the radio, and the government will pull people off of it. So that's been kind of fun to listen to. And that it's been coming out on Fridays, and I think the owner of that channel is putting them up on TikTok, which is kind of nice too. And I will recommend so many for you else at a different time. Yeah, we'll do else time.
Do that.
Another kind of good funny one is the End Times ambience. So I listen to, again, I'm a horror buff, okay? So it's no surprise that I follow. There's a lot of like weird, sleepy horror stories on YouTube. And so I will listen to like a half hour to an hour long show, and that puts me to sleep. But there's like this End Times ambience that does 2 to 3 to 5 hour like shows about what they pick a topic. Like this week is on Judgment Day, like Terminator style. And so they'll do a 2 to 3 hour episode based off of, what's going on there, etc., or zombies, or other video game type stuff. So that's been kind of fun as well. And the other one I like, just because it's silly, it's got more of a silly bent. And they just did the Christmas apocalypse. What happens when the world has frozen over and we have to live 300 feet down, and we're trying to tunnel up by like the equator, because we're hoping that the equator is still warm and we can live on the surface. But they got, again, that one's more AI, and but they have different voices and stuff, and it's kind of funny and silly. So those are like the things I've been kind of getting into, just because that's kind of helped me, especially the last quarter of this year, from like September on, help me mitigate the challenges and the changes that are going on in my life. Running as well. Shout out to running back at the gym. That has also helped my sanity. Yes, I have a mental health team that I love. Shout out to my counselor, my therapy team. But running has actually also boosted that, and I go daily. So yeah.
Excellent. That's so good. See, and I think that, that's one of the things too, is like what are the things we've done or experiences we've had besides the tools that have supported us or brought us joy throughout the year. For me, one of the things I've done is that I've started doing virtual tours of museums around the world. I particularly like the one for the Vatican museums. That one's really good, interesting. And then the J. Paul Getty Museum. That one, I really enjoy that virtual tour. And I also, I was able to go to the Chicago Art Institute this year. Yay. And it was fabulous. And they had a special temporary exhibit of symbolist movement, which is kind of a branch of surrealism. And it's wild. And it was just amazing. And just to get to see some of these things. And what was really cool is that while I was doing it, I was able to send some messages to Mary Kay Greer, because I'm like, how could I be walking through something that's all about symbolism and this type of art and not talk to someone who's like into it on that level of tarot and esotericism. So
freaking cool.
That was a blast. And I was there because I also went to the American Writers Museum. And I was super, super stoked. I got to represent Rachel Pollack in her writing, and some things I wrote about Rachel are in the display that they have of her work. And so that was an absolute thrill. But besides that, this museum was like nobody knows about, but it's like one of the best museums I've ever been to. It is beyond interactive, immersive, mind expanding. People are like, oh, take an hour to go through it. No, no,
Take a whole day. So
whole
it's like a
day.
whole day
Take
thing.
your time, and working with the exhibits that there. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole shelf. Rachel Pollack's work is within part of the exhibit that's called American Prophets: Writers, Religion, and Culture. So some of her work is featured with like Ursula K. Le Guin and N.K. Jemisin, and just fabulous people, amazing people. But part of that, they have all these things that actually can take off the shelves and use and interact with, and then put them back again. So, and they've got a jukebox. You can go in there and play. It's set up like a 1950s cafe. It's wild. And then they have these features where you can go in and work on. Oh, hey, I'd like to figure out how to write some dialogue, and they have this whole interactive computerized thing where you can work on that. It's just a fabulous museum that nobody knows about, and I'm just like, just go. If you're in the Chicago area, go. Take time and go.
Yes.
Take in this museum. The president of the museum is a total hoot. He's wonderful, and yeah, it's really good people. And it's just so well done, and it seems like it's a bigger space than what it is.
Yeah.
But nothing feels crowded. Nothing feels crowded in there. So that was wonderful.
Speaking of trips, yeah. My trip I took 2 weeks and I went to Detroit, Michigan to visit friends there and to attend Glade, the Greater Lakes area divination experience. And yeah, that was fantastic. Just like Amber, I went through tons of museums and hung out and got to hang with, a lot of our tarot peeps.
Yeah. Such amazing things. But because we're kind of leaning into talking divination and tarot, I've had a few decks that I've really been drawn to this year. And I also want to preface that some of the things or books and things that Jaymi and I may share are not necessarily that they came out in 2025. It's just what we experienced or used during the year. But the first deck I'm going to mention is Visionary Woman Tarot by our friend Christine Gorman.
So good.
So good. She wrote it beautifully. The way the book's written, you feel like you're sitting like across the table or like on the couch on the floor with her, like throwing cards back and forth and talking about them. That one for sure. And then I'm gonna sneak this in as a twofer. It's 2 decks, but I'm sneaking them in as one because they're by the same person. They're by Judica Illis, and this little cute little pocket protection spells.
Yep,
yes,
I got mine. Yep.
And then the other one is her Magic Spells Oracle.
Nice.
Great little decks to keep handy.
I look at this one where I don't necessarily want to pull like a random card, but it's got a lot of good suggestions on how to protect yourself, like even down to earrings, where this is a reason why I've got black earrings.
Right.
Just down to, it's just neat.
Yeah. And those were by Wiser. I just want to shout out to our wonderful publishers.
All 3 of them, even Visionary Tarot is Wiser.
Is Wiser,
yeah.
This one is U.S. Games, and it is the Arcana Folio.
I love this deck. So I have U.S. Games version, and I have the indie version. And so they renamed some of the cards in this deck. And the edges of the deck are different in the U.S. Games. And our favorite bag creator and other person, Jenna Diaz, has made, at my request, a squared case that'll fit both, because both of these decks are the same size. But yeah, I love the Folia Folia Arcana. And yeah, I know, Anne. You get to tease me about grinding, and I get to, spend your money for you.
Things. And then this is just one of those odd decks that I was just like, okay, because I am such a UFO alien freak, I had to get it when I heard about it. So I'm giving it an honorable mention for 2025. It's from Hay House. It's the Galactic Star Tarot, and it's Alexandra Hanley and Pamela Chen, and I have to give it an honorable mention because I mean, come on. It's just fun. It's light, but man, it reads in a very interesting way.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not wild about the cardstock, but I can.
Yeah,
That's not a big deal. Um,
I know. Again,
there
cardstock
you
is,
go.
we can do a whole episode on,
I'm just on
cardstock
cardstock,
requests and everything.
but and it's so
So,
subjective and
ooh,
individual. So, but that's it. That's what I have for my card slinging
um,
for
I think
25.
I've got the Bloodlands behind me, Dancing Macabre. They use the Bloodlands Oracle for
Oh yeah,
the ADF grows, our local here.
yes,
Salad,
cross that
right?
line.
Honorizing hell. Yeah. Well, I mean, we could. That's going to upset or, delight everybody. But do you have any more deck requests
Mm,
or deck recs?
no, no, those are the main
Okay.
ones I wanted to talk about.
Okay. I've got two just because they've been just stand out and helpful for me this year. The tarot deck that I've kind of been keeping by my side in a custom Arcana case by another good friend of ours, Susie Chang, T. Susan Chang, has been Sarah Kathleen from the UK, an indie deck. This is a grieving tarot. So it's got little stick figures, just very simple, but it's just been easy and fun. And I mean, look at the emotion in this Two of Swords card. Like, how the heck am I supposed to, decide between one or the other? You know, or like the Page of Cups. Hi, what are you? Type of stuff. You expect some stuff. So that's been kind of helpful for me. And the other standout, and I'm sorry I don't have any of the boxes. They're kind of buried right now under my bed, is the Memento Mori deck. And
Mm-hmm.
love this. And I mentioned both of these decks and Card Slingers as my standout, 2025 decks. And I talked to people. Again, this one's another Red Wheel Wiser. This one, when I first got it, I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. I'm like, it's 36 cards. It's not a Lenormand, as far as I know. It doesn't seem to take a Lenormand bent. But Melissa was like, our friend Melissa Sinova was like, give me a number between 1 and 36 and I'll tell you your fortune, because they have, interesting quotes on here, like this one is rise, or for everything a season. So I took this and ran with it two different ways. You can pick that number but pull a card before and the card after, and then you get like a past present future spread. Or I will use this with a tarot reading, and then, even the page would be card 11. So I would add up all the numbers and reduce it down to something between 1 and 36 and pull, one of these and then do before and after to get kind of this weird additional layer to that spread. And it's mind
Yeah,
bending.
yeah. It's a
It
deck
just
that I
mind
used
blowing.
to be able to grab it to show the box. It's a deck I keep handy on my desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm huge into pocket decks. Like I've got a lot of pocket decks. Like one of the Kickstarters that I backed this year, the Cracked Amethyst, I got both the big deck, but I also got the original in a pocket version and an Oracle, and I'm waiting for a bag so I can start bringing those out in, the little tiny pocket ones. But this one has just been, it's just a fun deck, and I'm not sure who at Wiser, we credit, because it literally just is a Wiser deck. So I don't know who came up with the idea, how they came up with it. This one says Necronancy calls. You hold the key, but it's just freaking awesome. Awesome. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. I got a pocket full. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought from a store near Amber, which is run by friends of ours, a deck box that fits pocket cards perfectly. So it's just, love that. So those are my two standout decks for this year.
Yeah. I've got a couple tarot or magic related books, and then I have a couple fiction books that I kind of want to mention. I do want to do a quick mention of Mary Kay Greer's Essence of Tarot. It is
Yes.
a new edition of the essence of magic.
Yep.
The upgrades in this, I mean, just Mary brought it into the now, right? Into the present. And it just speaks beautifully to everything currently. And it's very helpful. The other one, of course, it's a Chunky Monkey book. It's a chunky book. Tarot Architect, Lon Milo Duquette. Amazing. It's
Okay.
it can be a reference book. It's definitely not one that I read cover to cover. But man, he gives meditations to do and how to hold the cards in a certain way for different meditations, and it's really interesting, very very interesting.
Awesome.
Then
Do you want me to go with my?
Yeah,
Go
well, let
for
me
it.
show you my last kind of magic related book. I love biographies and autobiographies. And this is High Priest Raymond Buckland by Jason Mankey. Fascinating. I learned so much about Raymond Buckland through this. It gave me a whole new perspective to what he did and how he did it and why. So those are my nonfiction fun books for the year.
Awesome. So I didn't read a whole lot this year. I mean, I read the books that like we did like on our revolutionary the witchcraft. I cannot speak today, y'all. It's kind of weird. But I don't know. Reading was hard for me, and the first half, yeah, shame. But one of the books that I can't remember who told me about this one. But Anna, I think my friend Anna Alexander, shout out to Anna, told me about this. And I bought it immediately after seeing it. And it's a book called The Library of Questions by Lida Pavlova. And I think it's a self-published under Modern Magic Press because, you could get it off Amazon. And hey, look, it was printed in Troutdale in my state. So yeah, shout out Oregon. But when you see this cover, you think I was thinking, ooh, great fiction book, right? It's got that intrigue, the Library of Questions. Nope. It's a tarot spread book. So like, here's a fairy tale. And I should probably do fairy tale spread about love, or like the Two of Frogs, a relationship spread, or the Dreamer to interpret a dream. So it's got random spreads in here. The Cursed Book. Yeah, so this one was kind of one of the standouts. Here's one on creativity. So this one was just kind of that fun, random, was not even on my radar book. Nobody, yeah, right? Put this on your list. It's cool. It's freaking cool. And it's on Amazon. I don't know. It's probably ebook too, but I don't do Amazon ebooks anymore. And, with this, I wanted in print anyway, because of course I did. So I got that. For fiction books, I guess I'll do mine and then you can do your fiction. So, and this is, I don't know if it's cheating or not because I really didn't read a whole lot of fiction. But 2 weekends ago, I was resting my knee from running. And I finished in one day a book that I ended up getting from my friend Erin in Detroit. This book by Shui Ishida called Will Prescribe You a Cat. And it's got 4 little, it's 4 to 5 little stories about various people going to this clinic and getting cats. And I cannot tell you, okay, so this one is not in ebook format, so it's only in print. This one I know is in ebook format from everybody, and this book is sweet. It's very cute. If you love cats, you'll love this book. If you like cozy books, you'll love this book, and it will make you cry at the end, because I know I did. However, the good news is there is a sequel, so I've got it already on library for check out. And that one is Will Prescribe You Another Cat. So I can't wait to read the sequel to this one. But again, I can't tell you a whole lot, but there's 4 interconnecting stories, 4 or 5 interconnecting stories, and a twist. So I definitely recommend this. And uh, I tend to not keep my fiction books, but if anybody would like to borrow this book from me and then pass it down the list, either speak up in chat or Amber, call it out, and I'll pass it on to that person, and then we can keep that little cat prescription going.
Yeah, absolutely. The first fiction book I'm going to say, and I don't have it with me, because I've been utilizing my library more, and I got this one from the library. But I'm going to shout it out because it ties back to where we started our show, because there's a wonderful section here about a Mont Blanc fountain pen, and it runs through, hints of that run through the entire book, and that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Luis Zafón, and I'll type it in there in a minute. Wonderful story, but I probably reread this passage about this fountain pen probably 50 times.
Wow.
Because Mont Blanc, because fountain pen. I don't want to give away everything, but yeah. The Shadow of the Wind. And like Jaymi, I don't tend to read a lot of fiction. Most of my stuff is nonfiction. But another fiction book that I have to give a shout out to is, and I want to get the author's name correct, so I'm just going to pull it in here. Okay, is by Percival Everett, and it's called James, and it reimagines Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn through the enslaved boy Jim.
Oh, wow.
Fabulous. I kind of got goosebumps in places, got a little emotional in places. Fabulous book. So James by Percival Everett. So that would be the 2 fiction books. If I had to tell you one over the other, I would choose the one with the fountain pen in it, but
gee, I wonder why.
So yeah, and then I think that divination related,
Mm-hmm.
I this year got myself a set of brass dowsing rods. Oh my God, I love these things. They are amazing and accurate.
They're fun.
And so much fun. So much fun. Fortunately, they let me use them playfully as well as seriously, because I do have some
I can attest.
that are like, you will not play with me. I am for serious work only.
Yeah.
These just enjoy being in the hands. Yeah, don't hit myself. Yeah, exactly. I have.
Of course, because there's always once you got to, there's always that first time where it's gotta show you who's boss. Kind of in that vein, but I didn't bring them out, is that I have started a collection of just fountain pen nibs, just the blades. I've got 8 of them now. I've got a Lammy. I've got a bunch of other just random ones that are different sizes, and I want to start divining with that. So I'd love to maybe just go to the pen show and give readings by fountain pen, nib blades. Plus, I know of Pen Realms. They don't put them online, god damn it, but I wish they would, because I would buy so many. They have, you can get stuff imprinted on the nib. So, the Coffee Monsters Co., this little emoji guy, and I can pull that out. I can get another one and be like, this is the happy face. You're going to have something happy. Yes. Divining with nibs. I want to start doing that. And I want to, expose people, who love pens to divination. When I first mentioned it to certain community folk, they were like, I don't get it. But
they will.
Once I show them, they will, but yeah, I can find cats, dogs, critters, flowers, that sort of thing. And I can be like, well, you got
it's a little bit more, it's a little more refined and maybe centralized than just saying,
Mhm.
oh, think of like, casting with charms, but it's fountain pen nibs. No, no,
Mhm.
that's not it at all.
No, I mean, but it is, you can use it that way. You can even
Sure.
put a nib in your charm collection and say, well, maybe, maybe you should try moving away from writing on the computer and using a nib,
Maybe
type
you
of a
should
thing.
journal that.
But like I've got, a bold and italic, all these things. Italic could be the left hand thing, or it can be telling people, well, you know, what sort of pen should I buy? Get something, you like that's broad, or, have you not tried, an extra fine, stuff like that. You can play around with the same idea. It's just, yeah, it's just a little bit sharper. Uh-huh. But yeah. What else you got for best of this year?
What else do I have for best? I'm looking at my, okay, one thing I have to
She's
mention
got a
this. And
list.
again, this is, your fault.
Oh, my fault.
Your fault.
Okay, maybe I'll
Well,
take
no,
it.
you gave me an art tote, and I ended up using
Yes.
that because I am out of my house frequently, going other
Mhm,
places. It's very handy, and even just moving from room to room or taking, I have a little office area set up on my back porch off of my bedroom. So being able to carry what I'm working with in one thing, and I even have it here. And yes, mine is heavy because that's the way it is. But man, I mean, I've got my journaling stuff in there, my calendar stuff in there, my work stuff in there.
yep.
The notebooks for things that I am for my writing, because I write
Mhm.
manuscripts all longhand first. I don't do them on the computer. But then I've got, see, the case for my Conklin, because my Conklin, like I said, emotional support pen. I've got tarot deck,
Emotional
tarot spread
support
cloth in
pen.
here. I've got watercolor paints in there. I've got water brushes handy.
Yep.
So it's kind of like my little portable creativity kit that I can
Yes.
just grab and around with me. Um, it just ended up being very handy,
Mhm.
for my
And
needs.
yeah, and the reason why I gave that bag for her is because it's across the room over that way, but I already had one. I had something that works a little bit better for my needs that I keep on the sofa. I moved to my
Have I
bedroom.
considered tackle box? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I watched a video here on YouTube earlier this year that somebody was using one of those, specialized makeup cases for their,
Yes,
tarot collection, or
right,
GoBot. Like you could put all the stuff
right.
on the bottom. Decks, they made little foam inserts and stuff to keep the decks safe. They have, like their shell and their smudgy doohickey. So yeah, there's all sorts of ways that you can carry decks and stuff. There's I have a little doctor's case that I do as my event go box because it's fun. It's 1920s kind of fun and different. So yeah,
Yeah,
husky tool bag, whatever,
yeah,
a 5-gallon bin,
yeah,
donut bin. Yeah.
yeah,
So
goggles. Yeah, exactly.
yes.
um, and it's something that I started doing this year, is that I kept a media consumption log. I can't consider a journal because I don't write little reviews or how I think about them,
Mhm.
but in it I've got, what did you say? Books I've read, movies I've seen, television
Yay.
series,
Mhm.
podcasts, blogs, kind of everything I have. And it's just been interesting to look to see what I've been taking in. It's also helped me um, not be scrolling. I'm not
Yes.
gonna say, because I don't doom scroll necessarily, but I have, and this year, I never did it before, but this past year, I just found myself just kind of mindlessly scrolling, and I realized it
Mhm.
was just trying to find like that escape and go away. But
Yeah.
I've got so much a better way
Spend time.
to spend time, and to
Yeah.
utilize that energy. I'm very much about taking that, or being an alchemist, and changing that energy and putting it towards something that means more and that will do more for myself or my family, my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, that
So
escapism is hard, Anne, because I know in the past quarter, I've been feeling that so much. But yeah, to
yeah,
add like Amber, I don't do a media consumption, but I keep a pocketbook on me. This is my next blank one. My other, I keep it on in my bag. But at my desk, I keep these little weird writing grimoires, composition notebooks, or eventually B6, where I just like, here's an open projects list that of, stuff that I wrote down that I need to copy over somewhere. It's or articles from online, like 21 ways to use AI for, just weird shit that, I find interesting that I want to capture. Right now, I'm in the process of writing down linguistic AI facts from a screen capture, just because I'm curious about that stuff. These guys, the little pocket ones, as I hold it upside down and backwards, I tend to take to meetings and to other places with me. And instead of pulling out my phone, I'll put it on the table so I can focus on the person. And like if they say something cool, I'll be like, oh, how do you spell that? What is that? And it's different than a planner or, like my playbooks. Like I've already set up my most of my playbook for next year. I like the week size or B6. So this is what I'm going to use next year as stuff falls out. And, I've got 2 other journals that have prompts and stuff that I'm going to be using for next year. And I'm looking forward to filling some of these notebooks that I've purchased in the past and this year and a bit of last year. Ever since Amber got me into fountain pens last October, with the first one I stole from her.
Enabler.
Yeah, I've been junking out on the better stuff, and I've got quite a collection, but thanks to the tariffs this year, I bought most of it before the stuff went into effect. Yes, I do commonplace books with different angles.
Yes, yeah.
It's I call stuff like this. This is for next year, the Wheel Tarot Diagnosis, aka Shannon Knight's guided tarot journal. This is also an Amazon purchase or something. But it's got questions that you can either answer with tarot or probably just answer in general that discuss, aspects of the wheel around the year. I call these guys playbooks. So I'll do like a 365-day something, et cetera, et cetera. A commonplace book, there are 2 versions of it. One is like, an indexed, this is half-assed, but it's an indexed notebook of things you find or find interesting. And for me, this is all like, here's a tarot for role-playing little article I picked up. This one's just random. Some people will be like, my commonplace book on quotes, or my commonplace
one for quotes.
Yeah, commonplace deep dive on using tarot for self-discovery, and then you find all sorts of things and stuff. Yes, the Tarot Diagnosis started as is a podcast still going, and it's kind of a therapeutic take on tarot, which really, I really associate with, especially in my private practice. But last year she did one on The Hermit, and she put this one out. And you can also find this at the Tarot Diagnosis website as a PDF to fill out stuff if you don't want to do paper. But I've been, again, getting back into paper stuff because who knows, maybe one day somebody will want to, use all the shit that I've written down to record my biography. Amber, I don't know. Somebody out there, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, so we talk about journals and stuff. Have you had favorite types of notebooks this year?
Yes. My favorite notebooks, I don't have any of them with me, but I honestly haven't the life and times of Jaymi Elford. No, it's going to be probably something weirder, like what the hell with Jaymi Elford, the Jaymi Elford story. I haven't gotten to play with older Tomoe River paper as much. I've dabbled a little bit with a little bit of the older and some of the newer. I know that there's controversy on paper. Again, cardstock and paper journals, seem to be, the big, the big 2 in the various communities. But I have a love for Wonderland 222, which does use Tomoe, although this year's planners, the 2026 notebooks and stuff, they're not releasing what type of paper. So it's, secret paper, but I've gotten to feel it. It feels nice and stuff, but I like B6. I found out by using a lot of my old composition notebooks, this is the Kokyo campus, which is, it's the A4 size. This is about composition notebook paper, but I'm finding that I really like the B6 size. And don't have any B6 sizes because I like to be able to have it on my desk or something. This is my little Jamber'ee notebook. And this is A6 size. So it's more of a pocket, but I like the Wonderland paper because they date the bottoms of every page so that you can have that index vibe and be able to search through, because on my notebooks and the campus ones, I've had to go through and, do my own, which leads to some fun stuff, because when I hit page 69, I have 69 nice. Yeah, every time I do it, I do like 69, 68. So where's 69? There we go, 69. And I always put nice or something silly, but I like having dated or numbered pages. Aura Esteli is a Canadian-based group, although they have a across the border thanks to tariffs. B6, they have a weekly daily, so you have like a 2-page week where you have like a week style planner on one page and a blank on the other, but then each subsequent they have 7 days of blank pages. I like that because that allows me to use them for 365-day playbooks, 365-day class, kind of stuff, thoughts, it's memory keeper. So yeah, I spent this year buying a lot of stuff and honing. A5 is okay. I know Amber loves A5, so she became the recipient of all my A5 notebooks and a lot of the composition stuff that I'm trying to weed out of it. So I've really honed down what I like, and I'm looking forward to using the small stack of remainders as time goes on. I use them for therapy notes. I've got a really good therapy notebook now. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's
what about you?
Claire Fontaine, Look Turn, because I love the fact that they're numbered, and for things that I'm writing, it's really important for me to be able to have the number reference indexing. But the Claire Fontaine paper I love, and I really like campus paper. So that's my those would be my 3 for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The last thing I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the last thing I wanted to share is that I got a couple of stuffies this year, but this one happens to, I think, my favorite. This was a birthday present from our very own Dancing Macabre, and it's a forest Mothman.
It's awesome. It is just so awesome.
Yep. They are cuddly and they live in my bedroom. I just wanted to share that.
I love it.
Yeah, B6 is so easy to carry. It's just, to me, B6 is perfect for my needs. It's shorter and wider than an A5. And I don't know.
Yeah, and A5 worked for me because, like I said, writing everything longhand and carrying something that's larger, right? So you can say 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12, that size is just too wieldy to carry with me. And A5 gave you just a little bit more writing space to write more fluidly than B6. But I do have some B6 around that I enjoy. Just for my needs, the A5 is pretty choice for me.
Yeah. We all have our own, favorites. It's so funny to watch, notebook community on YouTube, and they talk about the paper or years of paper, like Tomoe River paper 2024 and earlier is like the godsend paper. 2025 is like shit. And it's like listening to people in the tarot community talk about cardstock. Oh, I don't like Hay House's new stock. Anything 2017 and under is better. I don't buy new decks. I go on eBay and it's hilarious.
Yeah. And I do something else that kind of started coming into my life more in 2025 is some graphic novel and comics. And that has to do with, like I said, because I represented Rachel and her things at the American Writers Museum. So I was deep diving into a lot of her work. And of course, then you can't without getting into comics. And I have to give a shout out to Alyssa Whitney and 2 of her comics that she's put out. One is called Guilt, GILT, and it stands for the Guild of Independent Lady Temporists. Fun. And the other one is Howl. And both from Ahoy Comics, and both have to be the same artist, Mara Set. But Alyssa is fabulous writer. She used to be an editor for DC. She actually
Awesome.
worked with Rachel back in the when Rachel was early with DC. Yeah. So
I love that.
shout out to that, because it's just something interesting that hadn't been in my lexicon on the regular before. And now I'm just finding some really interesting kind of niche comics and things that I'm really enjoying. So
That's okay. So you're speaking of that. Let me pull up my books app on my phone here. Beginning of the year, I did read a graphic novel called Zodiac by Aiweei, and it talks about it's a graphic memoir of the connection between artistic expression and intellectual freedom through the lens of the Chinese zodiac, and how this person's father was actually branded as a terrorist because of their intellect.
wow.
And how they had to live in caves and stuff. So I read that. It was published last year, but I read it beginning of this year, and that was a fun graphic novel.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I haven't read it, but I know of it, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
I'm trying to remember what web page at the end of 2024 I read it on that said this is a must read, and I read it from
Smart people.
I checked it out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
None of this intellectual stuff. I think Chinese want smart people. They just don't want free thinkers. That's the thing. They don't want that, free thinking Mothmen.
That's right.
Yep. Sorry, that's what I do with this. That's all this guy's good for.
It's
snuggling
good. It's
and
good.
just, I don't know.
That's all good.
Put the Mothman down, Jaymi.
I know you and I have an appointment to get to soon, so we're going to have to wrap this up.
Well, I do want to plug something that's coming in 2026 and coming early. So last year when I went to Newt's, I got surprised by a friend of ours who happens to be in this channel, and that made a wonderful Lenormand deck. And literally
wonderful. That's so good.
A couple of brought definitely bought 5 for those of us that are like, we'll pay you, and then actually sold the rest of the stock. Well, her Kickstarter is coming out in 3 days. So it's I just put the link into chat. It is the Lil Witch Lenormand, and it's all hand done by our Anne. And it's all rose red, and my fault that she has done this, because a year or 2 years ago we were like, you should do a Lenormand of this, or you should make an oracle, and she's like, no. Well, in 3 days you can go to that Kickstarter link, and I'll also put it in the show notes, and order your own copy, because it is freaking adorable and fun. And I got to see all the images, and a group of us put in some input and stuff. She even has a table flip card. So if you want to, have a table flip card in a deck, you need this deck. And it's fantastic. And you did an amazing job.
You're going to spend money on, small business and private creators and
Anne.
And Anne. Spend your money on Anne. Go to the Kickstarter.
Yeah. Spend money on Anne so I can get a goddamn tarot deck from her. Love you, Anne. And she says the table flip card
is the most popular card. Yeah,
of course, because fucking tarot, table flip. So I'm looking for that in 2026. I'm looking forward to starting my new planner-ish light thing. I used an 8.5 by 11 this year, and I doped out of it at the end of August. So I'm looking forward to using my smaller stuff. Yes, tarot and tarot. Oracle, then tarot. But so other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing what we do in 2026 and where we
know.
take this
I'm so looking forward to that. Our first show of 2026 is on the 6th. I'm trying to think, what is that first? Yes, the 5th.
The 5th.
The 5th, January 5th.
Oh my God. Yeah, because we're doing first and third, and this month was kind of special because
It was a special month.
it was a special month. Absolutely just special.
It was so special in many ways.
Yep.
And yes, I'm looking forward to just to seeing where we go with this for 2026. Obviously, we have to do a cardstock show. We have to do a
Pen
note
show.
divination show. Yes, a pen related
Yes.
show. And yeah, and as always, I mean, divination runs through mine and Jaymi's lives. It's just a current, not even underneath everything, just kind of through everything.
It's part it's part of us.
It's part of us. It's how we breathe. So
Yep.
I want to appreciate everyone who's like, listened either live or to our replays in 2025. And 2026 is going to be a kick. And I can't wait to have everybody around with us partaking. And if you have any questions or come up with ideas for the shows, throw them in the comments or, even on YouTube. They'll get to us. And
yes.
Yeah, we look forward to it. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jaymi.
Yeah, thank you, Amber. Have a good rest of your 2025. Be safe out there on the 31st. And paper show.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week in 2026's first episode of the Jamboree.
Whew. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.